Hi everyone, it's KIREI here for Bramble Fox with a brand new process video for you. And I am using the fabulous autumnal November Fox box. And I've pulled out a number of elements from the Fox box. I've got that Everyday Magic title in that mustard, which I love. I love that colour. And I have those very cute autumn vibes acorns. You can just see them in the top left there, and they've got etched onto it autumn on one and vibes on the other. And then I've pulled out all of the different coloured leaves from the Fox box as well. So I'm working with a number of photos. So yes, it's another multi-photo layout. This one is 8 photos, and I'm using a Simple Stories collection from last year. It was one of my favourites, actually, Cider and Donuts. I just love the colours in it. I think I'm quite an autumn person, actually. I do love sort of mustards and oranges and teals, and yeah, so yeah, this is definitely up my street. So yes, I've really hung on to that collection. So I've mounted my photos into 2 strips of 4 each, and I'm just playing around with this design here. And this is what I typically do when I'm working with a layout, is sort of place things around, have just a bit of a play, just to get a feel for what it looks like. And then I'll go back and start to get things stuck down. So I'm using the floral paper as my background, and I've really just torn the edges, and lots of distressing going on here, which is really lovely. I do like to add that sort of extra texture and dimension that you get. So I've got that torn bottom strip as well, and then I'm placing here just different elements from the Simple Stories collection, along with those fabulous autumn leaves from the Fox box. Okay, so right, we've moved on. I decided to move that pattern paper to the very top, and I'm going to add some torn paper layers tucking in underneath it. So I'm just bringing in some of the different colours. Now I've only got, as you can see here, sort of bits and pieces left, so I haven't got like full 12 by 12 bits of everything. So I'm just sort of piecing it together just with these torn layers. So I've got these 3. And then I'm going to layer up my photos. So this is where I start, isn't where I end. I do play around with it, as you will see. And I will add a little bit more as we move on. We'll start to get some of these pieces just stuck down. And I left quite a bit of gap underneath the top layer because I knew I might do something like this. So it gives me the room to tuck things underneath. So yeah. So there we go. This is a great way to use up those bits and pieces of pattern papers, particularly if you've got a favourite collection like I did with this one, because I don't actually have loads of it left. But there's always a way to use those bits and pieces. Now I just added foam pads at the top of my photo strips. I probably should have, to be fair, added just foam pads all the way and just raised the whole thing, because it sort of sits up a little bit now when I'm looking at it, because it's such a long strip. But I tend to sort of raise the top edges with foam pads and stick down at the bottom flat. I think I should have just raised it all, but anyway, that's okay. Okay, trusty T-square there, just to make sure things are nice and straight, of course. Couldn't possibly have those, wonky lines. I know some people are just very happy to stick it down and what have you, but I'm just a bit of a perfectionist with that sort of thing. Okay, getting that bottom strip stuck down now. And then I've got that really fabulous title, Everyday Magic, which I think really pops nicely against that white card background. And then I'm bringing in the ephemera pieces from the Simple Stories collection here. I've just got some pumpkins, and I've got some toadstools, and I've got some little acorns as well. And then, of course, I can add in those fabulous leaves. And I love things like little leaves and hearts and stars that you can sort of tuck in and around layouts. So, yeah, this is sort of, they're sort of always my fave when I get this sort of thing. My photos are from last year. In October, myself and a group of my scrappy friends go away for a week in Herefordshire, and we just go to scrapbook and have lots of fun. We drink cocktails, we sit in a hot tub, we go out for a pub lunch, we we go off and we've done some of these treasure trails before, which are really good fun, where if it's an app and you can download a treasure trail for an area. You just have to look up the area that you're in and see if they've got a treasure trail available, and then you just pay, I think it's like $9.99, download it, and then you basically work through the clues. But it's really good fun because it takes you around the whole area and you just get to sort of discover it. So we'll do one of those as well, hopefully. Yeah, we just have lots of fun, and of course there is a lot of scrapbooking going on, which is always good. So these were photos from last year, just photos I'd taken outside on one of the walks that we did, just around the barn that we stay in. Yeah, so it's just out in the sort of countryside, the fields. There's some horses. There's some really cool sort of toadstools, and yeah. So yeah, so I thought I would get those scrapped because I thought it worked really well with the title of Everyday Magic. So yeah, and by the time this video will be posted, I will actually be back at the barn in yeah, so having another fabulous week of scrapbooking with all my friends. So yes, it's wonderful. Anyway, okay, so where are we at? We are getting everything stuck down. So we're building a cluster at the bottom, because really with everything from a designs perspective, it's about thinking in sort of threes or odd numbers usually. But anyway, thinking of the rule of three, which is about bringing, elements together. So I've got the cluster to the right at the photos. I've got the cluster to the top left, and then I'm bringing in that bottom cluster as well. And that gives you the three elements on your layout that draw the eye in. So, yeah. So I'm just adding some more of those fabulous leaf perspectives from the Fox box. And then oh yeah, just trimming off that edge. And then I've got that last leaf down there to add in. And then I've got those cute little acorns. Now I'm layering up the second acorn over the top. So I am using some glue dots, and I will add some glue to it as well, just to make sure it's sort of secure, because obviously I'm not putting it down flat. So I want it to stick to the top, and I want it to stick carefully to that bottom, to the background as well. I will add some journaling over to the right of my title there. And then I will go in afterwards. I do actually add in another little bit of the green check paper. And I add in another little bit of the small brown floral paper. Oh, here we go. As if by magic, done. And then I've just popped in some decorative brads, and then I'm now just adding some little phrases. Now I do have to confess, I completely forgot about the paper snips that come with the Fox box. I had them underneath something and I completely forgot to use them. So, and they would be perfect on this layout, to be completely honest, because they had lots of leaves, which I definitely would have added. But I have another layout to come, which they will be used on that. Okay, and some gold splatters at the end, just to finish off, and then I am done. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video. Here are the close-ups. You can see the fabulous Everyday Magic and the autumn vibes, acorns, and all those cute little leaves that come with the November Fox box. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.